And shorts.
Yeah, going tennis.
Welcome everyone to committee meetings for Wednesday, November 1st, 2023. We'll start off with health services committee.
We will open up health services committee meeting at 6:03 p.m. Resolutions to get through. First one, approving individual provider contracts, preschool special education program.
Davis.
And Davis, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Approving related service provider contract, preschool special education program.
True.
Lucas.
Drew and Lucas, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Authorizing agreement, Greene County Public Health Department and Bureau of Justice Assistance, BJA. Hobart.
Davis.
Patty, I just have a question for Laura. What, from the Department of Bureau of Justice, what is it entwined public health? It sounds like it's more supposed to be geared towards law enforcement.
So that's a great point. The money comes from the Federal Bureau of Justice Administration, but we will, I did a grant application and then we did bring it in front of you guys to ask for approval to apply for it. So it's a combination of working with public health and public safety and toxicologists at Albany Med. So it's a multi-pronged continued effort to continue working on the opioid.
Does it revolve around following where the opioids are coming from, or where you're hearing maybe in public health, where they may be coming from to assist law enforcement? Or
So that's a great question, and I'll bring it back to the person who's working on it. That isn't what I think the original framework is, but we certainly could have those conversations. Another piece of this is creating the overdose fatality review team. So see what happens, why did they die, where did it go with the systems, where they may have fallen off, now or how, try to come up with some new strategies. It's exciting, it's good money, and it's an approach that we haven't tried as much in the past. I'm hopeful that we can make some good movement with it.
thank you. Thank you, Patty.
Yeah, first and second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Authorizing agreement, Greene County Public Health Department, preschool special education, Delaware County, and Roland V. Bus Corporation, Inc.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
I have a question.
Yep.
So seeing that the company cannot perform the duties as contracted, are we still paying them the full shot because of their staffing issues and not being able to provide the services that are contracted? Or does the money that if they don't pay it for the new?
Yeah, I'd have Lauren, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm Barb Wallace, and we've contracted with Coxsackie Transport. They're having some staffing issues, so they used to have a satellite office out that way, but they couldn't continue manning it. It's a statewide shortage of bus drivers. School districts are having trouble getting people and aides, so they declined that run. It's only for one child, and we're sharing costs and saving some money with Delaware County. They have 2 kids on a run out there, and we have the one child at the edge of Margaretville that needs to go to school that you previously approved contract with Carousel. So it's a cost saving measure for us, and it allows the child to get to the program. But Coxsackie, they've been doing a great job. I cannot complain. They've done everything that they could to try to get all of our little guys on vehicles. And this is the only one that, way far from that they can't. So they're not
Basically,
gonna
consolidating services with no other cost.
Right, we don't pay Coxsackie for any of that. We only do, it's direct service. So Coxsackie, it does it, transport, we don't pay that.
They only
So
get paid for the.
so it's like a
their
fee.
transport.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Amending capital project number 127, opioid settlement.
Rivera. Boomer.
Vera and Bloomer, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Budget amendment, Greene County Mental Health, New York State Office of Addiction Services.
Lennon.
Lennon and Davis. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Is there anything else to come before Health Services Committee this evening?
Motion to close.
Second.
We are closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Don't listen to him.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, nobody does.
Thank you, Tammy. I'd like to call county resources to order at 6:10. We have 3 action items before us, pretty straightforward. First one is authorizing this agreement between Greene County and the Columbia Greene Community College Foundation and authorizing payment.
Overlaw?
And Rivera and Overblock.
True.
And True, second.
I'd like to second that as well.
And Pat would like to second that. Just a quick thing, Sean, is this the second part of this budget, of our current budget?
No.
Are we just
We've
extending
already
it
made
forward?
2 payments, so we're authorizing now, but the payment will be made to January.
First payment for next year.
Right. And
Gotcha.
I've advised the president from a cash flowing perspective that the money's coming, but
Yeah.
it won't be delivered until January. It comes out of the 24 budget.
Okay, so what is it? What are we ending up with what our sponsorship due is? Are we paying more than last year as?
Well, this is for the green light. This is green light. This isn't our sponsorship fee. This is the money that goes for
No.
tuition assistance and
No, I know, but when we had originally set this up, it was supposed to be based a little bit about if we had excess. Like if we paid a certain amount, but not that many students went there, instead of taking that money and issuing it somewhere else, we developed that basically foundation or scholarship for Greene County kids.
yes, well, the genesis was when we 22, when our sponsorship fee came down because of
Yeah.
the change in population, we left $100,000 on the table
Right.
and then entered into this program, giving them 50 per semester. It goes to the foundation, and if there's money left over at the end of the session, it just rolls over to the next semester. So we've committed 100,000 per year or 50 per semester.
First year, more than that?
That was like 180.
180,000? Yeah.
Maybe the jump started.
It was the first year that we,
30,000 left from that, it was dropped to 100,000 that we
Right,
put in.
right.
I think that's where we came up with 100,000.
Okay, but yeah, Mary,
So we're committed to regardless if we're paying more for our sponsor of how many, because our sponsorship is up in the current educational year. More kids are going than the previous year.
yeah, the sponsorship fee is based upon the September enrollment.
Yeah.
For the calendar school year.
Okay,
And yes, and our number did go up
right.
in terms of the number of Greene County residents attending Greene Community College.
Right.
We're not committed to this. We could pull this out of our budget.
Yes,
No, I understand. I just, I know when we originally discussed it, it was the excess you had budgeted for this certain amount of kids. Well, not that many kids went, so it was extra, so we decided to use it through a scholarship, basically. Start up a scholarship for Greene County kids. I just, you hate to be.
We left the same funding level in place as what we had planned on the budget for that year. But then our sponsorship share came down way under that.
Right.
And it happened to be when COVID was happening.
Right. I mean, it's not that I'm saying we're shooting, it's a bad thing or anything, but we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot because we're offering the scholarship, so more kids from Greene County are going, and then our sponsorship.
be careful
share
what you
goes
wish
up.
for.
So basically, we're paying tuition twice,
Yeah.
and
In a way.
in a way,
In a
but,
way, we've encouraged our own children not to go to
right,
Hudson Valley or Caldwell-Skill or whatever by giving them the gas cards or a cut in tuition. And so it encourages them to start the 2+2 program or something like that. Or it could be the certificate program
Yeah.
as well. But you're right, as the more we encourage on the foundation contribution, it will increase the sponsorship fee.
Yeah, and it's not, it's not a bad thing, but as long as we're making everyone aware that, this money could disappear if funding gets tight or something for this scholarship. And understands that the basic premise of it was not that just every year Greene County's putting in regardless 100,000 or 150,000, it's based on
Yeah, the college
On something.
president normally will come to one of us around June and ask what things look like for next year. Looks like we're gonna be able to continue any of that, even at a lower level or where we are, or where we think we're gonna be.
Right.
So
And this resolution is 50,000 for the entire year,
No.
No,
No, first
it
semester.
says academic year 24-25 in the amount of $50,000.
It's for the first semester.
Right, for the first semester.
We give 50.
It's that payment.
If the terminology needs to be tweaked for Wednesday,
Right.
that's fine.
That's how it reads to me, academic year 24-25. For a total amount of $50,000.
I'll adjust the language for the finance.
All right, thank you, Sean. Anybody else on this one? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Second one is reappointing members to the Fish and Wildlife Management Board. We've got Thornton and Lennon. Any discussion on these people? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. And then the last one is reappointing member to the Board of Directors of the Soil Conservation District. Lennon and Lavera. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Anything else to come before County Resources?
Motion to adjourn.
Rivera to adjourn, seconded by Overbaugh. We are closed.
Do you want me to bring that up here?
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call the Public Safety Committee meeting to order at 6:16 PM. With us tonight, we have Sheriff Kuzminski to give his report. Sheriff?
Good evening, everybody. All right, so for the month of October, we made 152 civil attempts, served 88 civil papers, issued 74 traffic tickets, investigated 20 traffic accidents, made 29 arrests and 2 DWI arrests. We handled 488 calls for service and made 93 traffic stops. On October 1st, the starting jail population was 30. As of the 31st, it was also 30, the high for the month being 38.
Wow.
Corrections officers did 33 transports, traveling 2,140 miles, totaling 92 hours, moving 38 inmates. We have 2 state-ready inmates in our custody. I only have one incident that I would like to mention this evening as an example of the excellent work that our deputies are doing. The subject called 911 and reported that her friend, who worked in the Albany area but lived in Greene County, had made some suicidal statements. Deputy Caitlin Rayner was assigned and she notified Sergeant Joseph Fennell. They checked the woman's residence and found no one home and her car was missing. They interviewed an ex-fiancé and some friends, all of which led to nowhere. They pinged her cell phone only to find out that it had apparently been shut off and it was last known to be on County Route 405 in Westerlo. They put out a bolo, notified Albany County for the woman and her vehicle. Sergeant Travis Richards came in and assisted. He continued to dig into the woman's history and found out that the woman's father, who had died in 1998, was buried in a local cemetery in New Baltimore. They proceeded to the cemetery and found the woman's car with her inside, unconscious and unresponsive. EMS was contacted and she was airlifted to Albany Medical Center where she had to be intubated. After being treated for several days, she appears to be on her way to a full recovery. The great work done by Sergeant Richards and the other deputies in this case saved the woman's life.
Great.
Sheriff, your first step, your civil?
Yep.
Is that a backlog that's dwindling or is it a constant?
It's a
churn?
constant circle, and they may go out several times, attempt to serve the same.
Yeah, I know the two numbers are there, but I wasn't sure if we were working through a backlog now that COVID is over. Are these evictions? These are,
All kinds, they could be,
so they're not just evictions?
not just evictions.
Okay.
Well, it's nice to see that the higher level of phone volume sits with the actual civil service, that the sheriff's department is tasked with doing, so.
Sheriff, with this purchase of this Dodge Durango, is that what you're gonna have to get from now on, basically, with them stopping
No.
production on the
That,
Chargers?
that appears to be working for us.
Okay.
The price is right, and, by right, I mean, like, you're right. And they service well, they haven't had many breakdowns.
Aren't they in the Chargers, the wheel drive Chargers?
Chargers are, well, they're making, yes, that car will be gone.
Gone, right?
They do have some 6 cylinders left for this model year, but they find there's more room in the Durango anyway.
Yeah.
More reasonable to run too.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Anything else for Sheriff Krasinski?
Thank you.
And from the 911 center, we have the director, John Farrell.
Good evening, everyone.
John?
First, the October numbers, EMS, 549 calls, fire, 200, police, 1,117, unknown, 714, total calls, 2,508. The 911 admin and 911 calls came to a total of 4,947. And under the topic of mutual aid, we had EMS mutual aid 28, and fire mutual aid 6. Hazmat, no calls this month, thank God. Gibbon team had just 1 call, and that was in the town of Durham. Tonight you have 2 resolutions in front of you. The first one is the adoption of the Greene County multi-jurisdiction all hazard mitigation plan. Dan and his committee's been working on this for quite some time. New York State has approved the plan and has been moved to sent to FEMA for their final approval. So tonight, we're moving forward to get that approved countywide here tonight. The second resolution is authorizing a new vehicle for the department. This will be replaced in the Ford 2013, which has served its time, believe me. This new vehicle has multiple tasks. First, I would use it as a command post as I respond to fires throughout the county. The fire district doesn't have the proper radios for a command post. It would also be used for going up to all the tower sites in the county. And it would also be used for the capabilities of pulling the hazmat trailers to emergency scenes. A couple other items I want to bring up is during this past month, we had a meeting with Ulster County, the city of Kingston Fire Department leadership, and also the Twin Cove Technical Rescue Team. And one of the things, as I've mentioned the last 3 years, trying to get training for our members of that team. I'm happy to say that the City of Kingston Fire Department, they've been sending their staff over to Montauk Falls, and they're going to be coming back by the end of this year with 1 or 2 trainers. Trainers starting in early 2024. We'll be coming up to Greene to train our staff on that team. So that's a positive thing that's coming out of that I wanted to report. Also last Friday, Tommy Hoyt and Fire Deputy Pete Alberti offered a fire extinguisher training program here at 411. I'm happy to report that we had 78 employees participate, and I have received at least 10 emails thanking both Tommy and myself for putting this on. There was groups of 10 or less. And they really, some, believe it or not, never seen a fire extinguisher before. So we kind of look back and say, being prepared here is one thing, but a fire could happen in their home. And it was a program that Tommy and I are also going to move forward to offer this at mental health, at the highway garages as well in the coming months. So we want to be able to get it out, so.
Solid waste.
What's that?
Solid waste.
Absolutely, yeah, we've been there for a few hours in the past. So, and also, this past month, as I'm sure you're all aware, Greene County received the notice this year about our annual PSAP meeting of $143,466, which we use to offset personal costs or other expenses within the 911 center. And then we also got notified on the SICG communication grant of $456,547, which Dan will be using to future additions to our towers in the future, and also to anything that needs repairs to existing towers.
John, that's not necessarily new money.
No,
That's an annual
all of them.
Right, it's, the media reports, they kind of led it to believe that Elvis said this was new money for the first time to the county. It's not, it's really a traditional allocation.
Every year it comes out by the governor's office. Every county's got, but it's about the same amount each year.
That's the money that comes from the 911 fee on your cell phone.
That's what's left over after they use whatever they want. Right, so, we also have Dan King. Dan, would you like just to say something from back there?
I think you covered it all. Welcome back, Dan.
Yeah.
Any, Dan or John, we talked about the 214 Lanesville doing evaluation, and Dan, you thought you were at beginning to do some research on that issue?
Yeah, so we are actually remapping all the tower sites that we have in the county, as well as theoretical tower sites for the VHF and UHF area. And in addition to that project, we tasked the vendor with mapping the theoretical cell coverage if there were a tower at the firehouse. We don't have that back yet, no idea what that will look like when they come back, but once we get them, then we can start talking about potential solutions for that area.
John O'Ton, anything on EMS?
Things are going smooth so far. Any improvements with utilization of the 911 center, moving units around, seems to be cutting down on time. Good.
Any questions? Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Okay, now moving into proposed action items. Number one, resolution authorizing the adoption of the Greene County multi-jurisdictional all hazard mitigation plan. Martinez. Martinez is a motion. Second is Handel. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Number two, authorizing a vehicle purchase, Greene County Department of Emergency Services.
Lennon.
Second. Martinez. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Number three, authorizing Greene County Sheriff to execute annual mandated court-ordered contracts and or memorandums of understanding on behalf of Greene County. Handel and Davis, Bloomer, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Number four, authorization to purchase a vehicle, Greene County Sheriff's Office, Dodge Durango Pursuit.
Lennon.
Bloomer. Oh, boy.
Lennon.
Lennon, Martinez, Bloomer. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Number five, approving stop DWI plan for 2024.
Handle.
Handle, I'll second that.
I'll second that too.
Okay, along with Mr. Lennon. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. And number six, amending resolution number 120-23, appointing members to the Greene County Fire Advisory Board for 2023. Martinez, Handel, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Anything else to come before Public Safety Committee?
Mr. Chairman, I just have a question.
Yes, sir.
we've been talking about, and this could fall under public safety, but potentially helping towns with some projects and so forth. I know you had talked about like reevaluation. We had talked about infrastructure improvements, maybe public safety improvements to try to increase revenue, on a county level, make some investments in towns to then produce, growth. I don't know what everybody's thinking about that. I mean, I know I talked to Sean about it. I had talked to Patty about it. We're all kind of thinking the same thing. So I wanted to open it up to everybody else, to see what you think about that, and if that's something that could help, grow the county a little bit by investing in some of the towns and projects that maybe they can't afford.
Such as a
reeval or something like that.
I don't think a reeval does anything for new business.
I'm seeing that when I had spoken with, I had called Sean because my town supervisor had called me. And I was in a different direction than what you're bringing up now. He said a lot of the towns are experiencing where they're going to have to raise taxes. They just did their budgets and it's been announced how much money the county has. And he was asking, would the county consider doing something like maybe paying for the ambulance service that the towns have to pay for? That's something they have to pay for. It's a burden on the town. We took that line item off. That's what he had mentioned to me. As far as
See, I was thinking more of a project like a sewer water type investment like they're doing in
Infrastructure. Not everybody has sewer water.
Well, I understand that, but sewer
But
water
that's
is
a-
a.
Yeah, but we kind of did something
That's a good point.
similar with ARPA money. We put it out in 14, we handed out almost $2 million, what, 1.8?
Yeah, right, every town or village.
So all we asked is for them to come up what they thought in their municipality and submit a resolution to us, which we didn't tell them what they had to spend it on.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but what he's saying, and I agree, sewer and water is very, very important, obviously, we all know that. So we did put some seed money out there, we got a couple of projects going, but sewer and water is our success going forward. So what he's
We're
saying.
putting in natural gas to go to this
Yeah,
hotel.
well, there's contributions for economic development, which then leads to something new being built, new jobs being created, versus contributions to the general fund of a town or a village to lessen their tax burden.
the new job creation gets me all the time, and we know it. I mention it every time it's brought up. New job creation, what does that mean? We don't have the employees to fill the jobs we have now. Pelion, which I believe they have great benefits, they have great pay, they have their help wanted sign out for a year now. I just think when we say this job creation thing, it's kind of like, it's a lot of fluff, and what is it going to do? We don't have the people to fill the positions we have now. So I really hate that term of job creation. I don't think that really helps. I don't think that's what we need right now in the county. We need the people to fill the jobs. We need to bring the people in somehow, but not create new
What
jobs.
we need is obviously creating new businesses to take the tax burden off the people that own the regular houses.
Have
That's
you
what we're
seen
trying to
Have
do.
you seen the healthcare
Here,
place, the St. Peter's healthcare thing that has
Yeah.
been built and
And-
ready to open for how
Right.
long? They
Right.
don't have the people to
And-
fill the positions.
And there's another wrinkle in the road on that particular company today.
So, I mean, we don't have the people, what are we creating jobs for? For who?
We're trying to get,
You're talking about water and sewer. I hate to go back, but like on the mountaintop, water and sewer is DEP. It comes through the city. So you gotta realize that there's half up there and half down here. I'm with Patty. I'm for the, everybody needs ambulatory service. That's where we should be putting the money towards a county-wide ambulatory service. Everybody benefits from it. It doesn't matter where you live or what you do, you're gonna need it at one time or another, or somebody's gonna need it. Sewer and water, that's good, but I mean, it's too divided. The county, half the county's in DEP and half's not, so I mean, that's,
Well, you come in late, we're looking into to that,
Charlie, I can't always be on time. I do the best I can.
And I want to mark for the record, Daryl and I disagreed tonight.
Scary. It's something,
That is scary.
I think it's something for us to think about.
Yeah.
There's another picture moment.
I agree with both of you too, but problem is, we're looking for job creation. In order to get people to come in and fill the jobs, we've got to have people come in from outside, and where are they gonna live?
We need housing.
Our housing shortages are
Without
big.
infrastructure, you're not building houses.
Well, you got highway buildings that also are in disarray.
But the
That
thing is,
also
where's the
even-
entrepreneurs to
That's-
come in
that's
and
our own
start a
people.
business?
We're not coming to New York.
They're not coming here, New York is
Counties in New York
overregulated,
State,
and
no, so
since
until
when do you
things-
want more government into your life? I mean, I'm not here to put, no, I mean,
Well, don't forget about, you talk about building. Where are you gonna build? The towns,
Build.
what, no, I'm just gonna say is that the towns like Catskill and all wherever there's already infrastructure, meaning water and sewer, the building is pretty much at its limit.
Yeah, it is.
So when you go, you're talking about building, you're gonna build outside, so there's no infrastructure for water and sewer.
Well, I mean, that's what Matt's saying.
Well, that's what he said.
No,
Extend the
no, but
system.
I'm saying that the
But he's saying
property's so
extend the
far, you're not gonna extend, it's, anywhere you're gonna build now is outside, and it's, you're beyond it.
I don't think we're gonna decide tonight, but it
No,
would be really good if we could all come, like, everybody's got an opinion. So let's get our opinions together, let's dissect them and figure out what works best.
Yeah.
And I think that's the direction we're
Yeah, I don't think going down to an investigatory review of the potential, we're gonna adopt the budget in 2 weeks, so I don't think this is an issue of, do we have a line item in a budget for next year? We certainly have the ability to extract from a fund balance contribution. But the issue, I would, I guess, segregate the difference between helping a community with a project, which is, call it the park improvements and the
budgetary contribution.
yes, because if you get into budgetary contributions, that's a forever and a day contribution. Otherwise, the year you pull out, that community is gonna have a shortfall in their budget. So if you wanna start that way, that's fine, but if you do, you're doing something perhaps in perpetuity versus a one and done, which that one and done may relieve that community of a budget line item that they're struggling with, but it still gets their project completed. Because they could do a park improvement, but they would have to pay for cash. They could reduce that expenditure item that 1 year that they would have had it. We pay for it, and then we're done with it. We haven't got the perpetual, unless you want to get into a perpetual contribution to it.
No, we can't.
No, I don't
Can't
think
do
we'll
that.
get into a perpetual, something perpetual, everlasting.
Sean, what's going on with the potential sales tax for the Airbnbs?
There's 2 bills. They didn't merge before the session ended in June. For NISAC, it's one of the top 3 pushes in the January session when they get back together.
So in reality, then, it's possible that could take place. And your initial thought was that some of that sales tax you would share with these towns and villages. Which would be a big thing for these towns and villages already.
Well, be careful, because the way the Hinchy bill is written, it puts more onus or more responsibility of workload on code enforcement within that community, because now the Airbnbs have to be inspected for smoke alarms and fire extinguishers and code enforcement, which are not done today. So that local code enforcement building inspector is gonna have some more work. And that's why I suggested we do share that expansion of the sales tax.
Right.
Which then pays for that service level. If there's extra money, then that just goes to the community forever as a perpetual benefit to their budget, and then we keep the residual. Warren has said to us before that the Airbnb industry says that it's $100 million annual business in Greene County. At a 4% sales tax, that's $4 million per annum. Split in half, divide the towns, you know, or 60-40, 70-30, however we wanna do it. And that would be, and that's not a redirection of an existing sales tax. That's an expansion of the sales tax being applied to service levels that are not currently taxed today. So it would be new money for both communities.
I'm sure that the increase in tourism dollars, I'm sure the Airbnbs, because so many more have popped up, I'm sure that that has contributed a lot too.
Well, which is also part of
Tourism dollars have
our,
increased.
the reason of our housing debate right now.
Right, I know.
Many yearly rentals now have been converted to
Mhm.
short-term rentals. Like, kind of
For
exactly.
the increase, for the increased costs on the towns do have the ability to charge a yearly inspection fee. I think Catskill does that.
They do.
Hunter was talking
Village.
about it. Do they do that?
Yes, we applied that.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna share something, that's a great thing to share. I mean, because some communities do not have the ability for an Airbnb, or it's not as demanding, whereas some of us around here have a big demand, so why not give everybody a little piece of the pie?
I think there was a stumbling block with the current legislation from 23. Leave to remove New York City from that.
Yes, they did carve out New York City because New York City was totally against it.
So what's the
They were
second,
against it.
so what's the second, you said there's two bills, what's the second one?
No, it's House and Senate.
House and Senate.
Okay, let's go.
You're right on, Matt, and, you know, trying to think of things, and I'm not blaming any town or village in Greene County, and I'm specifically not blaming Greene County government, but you guys can spin your wheels and run your fingers into the ground all you want until this state and federal government changes its ways and stops paying people for sitting home and not working. It's not gonna change, you're gonna run short of labor. And, you know, businesses are not gonna come to a highly regulated, highly taxed state. You know, they view the state government here as an enemy of business. Why would you come here?
And those benefits have been extended, right, till the end of next year.
So. Say it.
Makes no sense.
Problem.
Okay, on that, how about everybody just digest this last conversation? And I'll entertain a motion to
You
close.
lost control, buddy. Motion to adjourn.
Lennon handle, that Lennon handle?
Lennon handle.
Let it handle.